How's everybody doing tonight? Please let me know in the chat so we can have a discussion. So, if you've been watching the show this week or listening, you know that we've pretty much just been spamming, and that's not going to change tonight. We have this puzzle that's unbranded, considers itself a 3 out of 5, is tiny, and I think has a very small amount of pieces. It's obviously going to be a one-night puzzle. I'm not even sure that it is going to be a puzzle. I think you can count the pieces right now. 6 for the box, 3 for this, I don't know, book. What do you think for the guitar? I think maybe 3 for the guitar. What's that so far? 12. There's a music box, 13. There's probably something that we're missing. It says 17 here. We can count 13 pieces just by looking at this this box. I don't know. Let's open it up and see what's in there. I'm not expecting much. I do have a story to tell, though. Today on the review website. So you might have, let me, before I say what was on today, if you look on my page, I haven't done the compilation yet. I should. There's a Roker 3D pinball. It was a very good puzzle. Took, I believe, 28 days and created a working pinball machine. And today I was offered and accepted U-Gears pinball machine. So that's already good. It's from U-Gears and it's a working pinball machine. So that's already like Roker, but it's branded. It's Harry Potter branding Quidditch. So it's excuse me, sorry about that. It's a Quidditch U-Gears pinball machine. U-Gears Quidditch pinball machine. So I don't know when we're going to do that. We have like a ton of good puzzles right now. In fact, there's puzzles that have been in my closet for a year, and I'm probably just going to have to give them away because I'm getting too many good puzzles lately. I may never get to these like bad puzzles. All right, so as we open it up, we see the motor. We see 2 screws. That could already explain, and we see a screwdriver. That could already explain the pieces that we missed. We've seen this type of, it's not a motor, it's a player piano. We've seen this before. Again, if you look on my channel, there's the Wood Trick Dragon Castle. It had something that looked just like this, and we called it a player piano. If you get in close there, you can see, can you see it? There's like different lengths of metal. And then there's a spool with little, like, kind of look like pimples on it. And basically, that's a player piano. So the Wood Trick Dragon Castle was, like, crazy. It played What Child Is This? Let's see what this plays. Well, it's not What Child Is This? Oh, something just fell out. Hold on. This puzzle almost failed before it started. A screw fell out. All right, let's try again to get some music out of this thing. All right, let's see if we can hear it. It sounded very low. I couldn't really hear it. Don't Take My Sunshine Away. What is the name of that song? I recognize it. Oh dear, how much I love you. Let's try. I'm going to try it right into the mic. I recognize it, but I can't quite. For some reason, I can't remember the name, but I recognize it. I want to sing along. So we know that song. For some reason, I can't think what it is. It's certainly not a guitar song. But they gave us a guitar. All right, so we got a player piano, a screwdriver, 3 screws, and if you count the wooden pieces that we guessed by looking at the box, that's going to add up to exactly 17 pieces. I think this is going to be as simple as it gets. Nope. 17 just for the wood. The body of the guitar is 4 pieces. Maybe it's more than 17 pieces. Let's just, you know what? This has segments. So let's use on our scoreboard, what do we have now? Page and piece. I'm going to change page to segment because these instructions have segments. So we're going to do a segment counter and a piece counter, and we're going to just follow along here. And we'll see how many pieces it is. All right, so now it's a segment. All right, let's take a look at the pieces before we go on. I see some more plastic. Oh, it's just a bag. It's in a bag. There's all the wood. All right, there's more than 17 pieces. Just counting here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. And there's another sheet. 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26. All right, so there's not many more than 17 pieces, but there are more than 17 pieces. So we're gonna build this thing, and it's probably gonna go pretty quick. Before we get started, though, let's digitize the instructions. That always makes things a little bit more fun. If you'll just give me a minute, I think it'll take 4 photographs to do this proper. So let's get that done. Get that out of the way. Turn on the flash, because if you don't get a good picture, at least in this scenario. Maybe in the rest of your life you don't need the flash, but when doing the instructions, you do. All right, let's see. Did that work? Yeah, that worked. All right. The instructions are actually not showing up. I'll deal with that in a second. But for now, let me just get them photographed. The way that the instructions normally show up is not happening right now. It's possible that I can make it happen. I'm going to unplug and plug and yeah, that plug was loose. All right, it's going to happen in a minute. Might take a minute to sort of boot up, but yeah, there it is. So now you're seeing through the iPad as I digitize the instructions, which will be done in a second. All right, that's done. So now, all right, let's bring up the instructions. 4, 3, 2, 1. But really, they go by segments. So that's what we're going to be sort of keeping track of. I might have just given some unauthorized looks at my studio, which I'm going to do a studio tour at some point. The guy that I follow for how to do the YOLO box, on his show yesterday, he did like a tour of his studio. I built my studio not watching any studio tours first. I just sort of built it a step at a time, and I think that's part of the story, and I'll show that. I'm going to show all the generations of my studio in my video. But anyway, the guy who I follow showed his studio yesterday, and it reminded me that I need to show my studio. Anyway, assembly instructions. There's the assembly instructions, kind of. There's the pieces, name, hand-operated movement, 3mm screw, 1 piece. I don't know. They're just putting numbers on the pieces. Do the pieces not have numbers? Yeah, they don't have numbers, but I think they're pretty much like, they have looks to them. This is board B. Do they not have numbers? No, they have numbers. Look, there's a 4. So that's number 4. That's number 3. can see that 3 there. Is there a number on this one? That's number 2. But these little tabs don't have numbers. So, I don't know. We might have to refer to this sheet for the numbers. I don't know. We'll see. This is board A, I guess. Yeah, this one definitely doesn't have numbers. So we'll need to refer to this sheet here to see the numbers. All right. So that's just a reference key. I'll probably actually keep the reference key open on the desk rather than flipping through the pages. But the first instruction is pretty simple. All right, so first segment 1. It's going to use the hand, they call it hand-operated movement. To me, it's a player piano. The player piano, piece 1 and 3 screws. So that's 5 pieces. So 5 pieces in segment 1. So 17 is obviously a low number. I don't know where I got that from. Oh, it said 17 on the cover of the box. Did it mean like... No, 8 plus is the age. I don't know. 17, it shows a puzzle piece and says 17. Musical, DIY, 8 plus, 17. 3 out of 5 stars level of difficulty. I swear it's saying 17 pieces. Anyway, it's not 17 pieces, but that number meant something to somebody, so 17. All right. What's that song again? Is that? I messed it up a little bit. It's something like When Stars Are Cloudy and Gray. I don't know. I feel like I want to sing along, but I can't remember the lyrics. Ah, Paul, you are my sunshine. Okay, great. Someone got the song. All right, let me just put that on the screen so everyone else can see it. I should ask, can Dad see this show? It's probably going to be the worst episode ever. It's like the smallest number of pieces. But I figure if you're watching, then Dad's probably watching. Anyway, it's going to be like, this is the smallest puzzle we've ever built. But maybe that's good. Because you won't have to sit through like a 28-day puzzle. It'll just be, you just very quickly get an idea of what we do. All right, so piece number 1 is this. No, it's not that piece that fell out. It's this piece here. So we're going to do ink side up. We're going to put the piano so that the crank sticks off the outside. And we're going to put the 3 screws from the bottom. All right, so let's get those screws on. All right, let's try this now. Did I get that? It feels like it took. I think that screw went in. Now, once we get the second one, the third one definitely will be easy. It'll be all lined up. Okay, yeah. Yeah, seems like it's going good so far. All right. Third screw. Well, I thought the third one would just automatically line up, but actually I still had to adjust it. All right, let's try that song one more time. I didn't have it right up next to the microphone, but I can tell you it was louder. So having this board here probably creates some, having this board at the bottom probably creates some type of echo, and you actually could hear it better. So anyway, that's segment 1. Very quick. Let's move on to segment 2. Segment 2 is we're going to grab pieces 4 and 6, and we're going to stick them one on each end. So I'm going to keep this puzzle matching the orientation of the instructions so I don't mess up. So doing it that way, 4 goes on the right and 6 goes on the left. And these pieces are going to look pretty much the same, 4 and 6. The only difference is 4 has a circle for the crank to come out and 6 doesn't. 4, 6. All right, so the crank goes through 4, and then 6 goes on the other side. It's going to be a very quick puzzle tonight. We're moving right along. All right, so that was 2 pieces. We're now up to 7 pieces, and we're moving on to segment 3. All right, segment 3, we're going to add pieces 2 and 3, so 2 more pieces. We're up to 9 pieces. All right. Is there any difference between pieces 2 and 3? Let me look at the key just to make sure I don't mess up. All right, so 2 is the one closer to the edge, and 3 is the one further. 2 is going on what's the front facing us, and 3 goes on the back. I'm not sure there's any difference between these 2 pieces. But anyway, that's what they want, so that's what we're going to do. 2 on the front, 3 on the back. Are they actually the same piece? My guess is yes, but I'm not going to examine them closely. I'm just going to snap them on and move on with the build. In case Dad is there, I'll just ask if you watched the Jet Giant the Jet Giant game this weekend, and if he thinks the more deserving team won. It was probably one of the worst games in NFL history. Unless you like that old school, like, play in the mud, wildcat offense, 90% running plays, like back in the leather helmet days, that type of, it was that type of game. It was like a field position. I think the punter was like the man of the match or the whatever. It was really like a special sort of game. All right, segment 4. We're moving on. Did I count the 2 pieces? Yeah, I did. I counted the 2 pieces for segment 3. Okay. Segment 4. What's going on here? Segment 4, we're just going to put on 1 piece. So we're up to 10 pieces. Segment 4 is, I believe it's this piece. Piece 5. And we're just going to drop that like right on top of this box. Did I change this like close-up camera? I think I did. There was something where I needed it to be like further away for some reason. So I moved it, and now I got to move it back. All right. Does that look good? I think so. All right. How does this go on? All right. There's 3. I think it goes like this. So the bigger hole is on the opposite side of the crank. Let's just try this crank before we put this piece on, because I wonder if it's going to be louder with or without the front on it. I mean, this is kind of like how guitars work, right? They have like a hollow wooden body. Yeah, every piece we add, this is getting louder. But now we're putting a cover on. Is that going to make it louder? It might. Have you ever have like someone's watching a movie or listen to the stereo in another room, and when you're outside the room, it sounds amazing, and then when you go in the room where the movie or the stereo is actually playing, and it sounds terrible, and you're thinking like, I'm in the same room as the stereo and it sounds terrible. It somehow sounds better outside of that room. Like the room is part of the speaker. Anyway, now we've got a top here. Let's see how it sounds. That's as loud as it's been. I'm going to pick it up to the microphone just so you can hear how it's getting louder each piece of wood we add. All right, will it get even louder when we add the guitar? I don't know. Let's find out. Did we add? Yeah, we had the one piece. All right, so now we're up to segment 5. Segment 5. Is segment 5 a QC? It is. I don't think there's anything being added in segment 5. How we just picked it up and tested out the crank, that was segment 5. All right, so moving on to segment 6. All right, now something's happening. Okay, so we're going to put this box aside, and it is now to be known as component A. And I guess we're going to start on, I would guess, what they're going to call component B. What it looks like here, segment 6. We're going to use the guitar front of the body, the fretboard, and 2 pins. Those are pieces 11, 14, 16, and 18. So we're going to add 4 pieces here, bring us to 14 total. All right, now let's try to get the right pieces here. All right, and let's remember the ink side. Okay, the fretboard I think I can't mess up. That's 14 here. So there's a blank side and there's an ink side. Obviously, we want the ink side out. All right, so there's piece 14. Piece 11 is going to be this full like body. Don't break it. You only got one chance at that. There's no spare pieces here. All right, now we need a 16 and an 11. There's 1, 2, 3. There's really like there's multiple types of pins. So we need to refer to the instructions here. All right, so 14. What are the pins we need? 14 and 16. Okay, so 16 is in the middle. Where's 14? 14 is by the fretboard. So this is 16, this is 14. And as long as we're assembling a guitar, I'll use my electric guitar tool to snap those pieces out. Okay. Now I gotta put this together. Okay. The smaller pin, which is 18, is gonna attach the fretboard. Well, really both pieces, but one's going to attach from the front and one's going to attach from the back. They're both going to attach the fretboard to the front of the body, the smaller piece going near the headstock. If I can get it in, I might have to grab the needle nose pliers to wrangle this tiny piece. Oh, I broke it. I pushed the piece by the end. Oh, man. It's completely broken. It's broken. I don't think it's going to be noticeably broken because that was just adding depth to the headstock. It wasn't even adding ink. But anyway, we definitely broke it. So what I'm going to do now is I'm just going to put this pin into the body. And hopefully I don't break it again, because that would be a bad break if I break this one. Basically, this pin doesn't fit. Doesn't fit in this space. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to sand that pin down a little bit. I wish I'd thought of it before I broke the headstock. All right, sand it down a little bit. And get it in there. And we will put the headstock back on at the end, the broken piece. We're going to make it work. I can't believe I broke this twice. So this is pretty breakable wood, so let's be careful. It's still not going in. Cannot force it. We made that mistake once already. Pop it out, sand it some more. If you sand it too much, it's not going to hold the pieces together. If you don't sand it enough, it's not going to go in. So just sand Try again. Sand, try again. Till you get it right. Even now, I'm wondering if I should pull it out and sand it some more. I think it's in. Okay. Now, the bigger piece is going to catch the fretboard from the underside, which, if this is going to stack 4 pieces against each other, I'm kind of wondering why that's even a thing. Like, is that even the right thing to do? Because how are you going to stack the other pieces underneath that? Anyway, that's what the instructions say to do, so that's what we're going to do. All right, let's get that fretboard under there. All right, now we got to get it from the other side. That looks good, totally doable. Imagine we now break this fretboard at the bottom. Why is this piece so long? Probably it's going to have a wider slit on the other 3 parts that we put on. Is that going in? I can't tell. All right. I'm going to push on it, and it might break the piece again. It's a tough piece to work with. These holes weren't big enough. Anyway, I think we're good. I'm going to try to even put this back on. I got to see which way it's broken. Okay. You know what? I think this should go back on at the end. Yeah, we'll do this at the end. All right. Let's just move on to 7 for now. All we're doing for 7, I forget the name of this piece, but it's basically, it holds the strings at the back of the guitar. And we're just putting that in. That's piece 15. This is actually Paul still on the West Coast. Oh, okay. Hi, Paul. I thought for sure it would be Mary because she was, as I understood, at my parents'. Am I doing this right? Yeah, this looks right. Okay. All right, what's next? Segment 8. First tie a knot in this position and then thread it through the hole at the bottom of the wooden block. So we're going to be stringing this guitar up. They didn't give us any string. What the hell are they talking about? There's no string here. I think they want us to string the guitar. But I don't have any string. So, yeah, I'm not sure what they're going for there. I think they want us to, tie, maybe some fishing line to this or something. But they didn't include any in the box. So, I'm just going to pass on that for tonight. If I end up doing it, I'll show you tomorrow. So, anyway, we're going to move on to segment 9. And that adds 1 piece. So we're up to 16 pieces. And that's like the bridge that's going to go in front of the strings. It's actually, in this case, oh, it's not even going to stay on. The bridge isn't going to stay on because the strings, or the tension of the strings, is what keeps it on. And this piece didn't go through. We thought this was going to be such an easy puzzle, and now it's not. It's turning into not easy at all. The string that wasn't included. And turns out that string is actually part of the construction. Okay. I seem to recall having string in a recent puzzle. And I'm going to see if I saved any of that extra string. At least enough to do one set here. No, I must have thrown it out, or I must have used it all. I don't see the string in there. Okay. So the piece that we're supposed to put on is this piece. It's piece 5, and the strings are supposed to go through it. So that's supposed to hold the strings on. I think what I'm going to do is, just for the time being, see if it fits here. Okay, I'm going to put it there. Even though I think that's actually where it's going to go. I think they're going to have us move it there at some point anyway. After we feed all 6 strings through, which probably tie back here, feed through. You see there's different squares there. I don't know if you can see that. There's actually little squares there with like wood in between. This is again blurry. Yeah, so you tie the string back here. You feed it over this. It goes through those little boxes, pinched in here. And then this piece is going to lock it on. So we don't have strings. But if you had strings, that's what you would do. We're just going to move on to segment 10. Wrap the line. Segment 10, segment 11, segment 12 are all stringing up the guitar. Segment 14 is stringing up the guitar. Wow, this is like a really vital part of the puzzle. You'd think they would have included some string in here in the box, but they didn't. Install the wooden block. Okay, so segment 15 is what we just did. Putting the wooden block on there. So that after you finish stringing it up, it holds it in place. All right, segment 16 is a QC. We QC it, and we see that we're missing the strings. What are you going to do? All right, segment 17, we're going to add pieces 17, 12, and 10. So we're up to 19 pieces. 17, 12, and 10. I'm not sure how we tell those pieces apart. Well, obviously, this is 10 because it's got ink on it. But these ones say 3 and 2. Okay, I think what they mean... Okay, see, this one says 4. Even though it's labeled in the instructions as 17, 12, and 2, and we probably can get those from the key here. Yeah, 12, 17. What is this one? 10. Yeah, this one's 10. We could have figured those out anyway, but I think what they're saying here, this one goes in 2nd place, this one goes in 3rd place, this one goes in 4th place. So the 4 is obvious because it's got the ink. The 3 stacks on top of the 4, and the 2 stacks on top of the 3. So that's how it goes. This is not going to fit on here. I'll tell you right now. This piece is not going to fit on here. It's not the right size. Yeah. This piece is not the right size. I need to sand it or something. I mean, it's so incredibly not the right size that this puzzle is just a fail. Yeah, I'm not sure what to do. Like chip out these centers, make them long enough. Can that be done? Sand down this piece and make it thinner. Let's try that. I don't know how realistic that is. Can we really do that? Is there a thinner piece? There's these pieces. Were we supposed to switch to that piece at some point? I don't think so. Yeah, it still doesn't fit. Oh, no, it does. Okay, it fits on now. Okay, that was it. Sand the piece down a little bit and it works. These are all like really tight fits. The bottom one is also a tight fit. I feel like I got to pull it off and sand the bottom as well. Yeah, if I don't, it's going to break the piece. Going to shatter the piece if I don't. All right, let's try, see how far we get. Oh, this one is wider. So really that one goes second. Okay. We're going to pull this off. So that theory about the 2, 3, and 4, that wasn't correct. All right, now we got to get this piece off. I was like overconfident in the beginning that we're going to do this like no problem. Okay. That's the back. This one has these little like cuts on the side, so I think they're going to go wider. Let's try it. Actually, this one is labeled 2. I don't know why I was putting the other one on. That was the one labeled 3. All right, this goes on easy. That's correct, I guess. I just was putting on the wrong piece. Now this one says 3, and obviously the back one said 4. We need a tighter fit from the back one. I don't know if it's going to be like too tight. Let's see. This is definitely not going to increase the sound output. There's no way, because there's no channel down here to accept it. Anyway, we built the guitar. Probably these pieces are going to hold the music, and they gave us extras of those 2 pieces. All right. Did we count those 3 pieces? We did. All right. So segment 19. Wait a minute. What happened to segment 18? Oh, segment 18 is a QC. All right. Segment 19. We're going to take pieces 8, 9, and 7. So 22 pieces. So we're going to attach, what do they call this? They don't give it a name. Well, let's just call it the guitar to component A. So we attach the guitar to component A. We put it on the wrong side. Let's see if we can, we got to redo the whole thing. I don't know how I managed to screw that up, but I did. So we're going to fix it. Boy, this is really becoming a loose connection by the time we're doing it for the 3rd time. So I put them on, first I put them on in the wrong order. Then I put them on upside down. They actually go like this. The pin is on this end. The part that sticks out, which is going to attach to component A, is I had it on the wrong side. All right, let's get this on. Okay. Get the guitar on there finally. Doesn't really hold on very tight. Okay, it's in. Now, these two pieces are going to hold the music, and that's really all there is to it. Just stick them in A, stick the music on, and then it's officially done, if you can believe it. They go in with these little like holders facing the guitar. Well, there's a hook in the back. Well, oh no, I had that one backwards. Wow, that was so stupid. I was holding it backwards and going, why is there a hook on this side? Alright, so there's little notches here. You can see the little notches. Obviously the notches are going to line up with the holders. Alright, so let's see if this will stay on top. Well, I have glue, and I could glue it on, but it would take a while. Excuse me, for the glue to set. So I'm just going to take everything off screen here, and we're just going to take a look at what we did. So it was a very short puzzle tonight, and it's done. Just to show you, officially there, complete. So it was 19 segment instructions, 22 pieces. It's only 22 pieces. Look at that. Just to give you an idea how small that puzzle is. It's a little bit taller, maybe. It's not that tall. I think my thumb is taller than it. Yeah, it's a pretty small puzzle. All right. You want to hear the music one more time? Let's see if we can get a decent rhythm to the music this time. I'm somehow not keeping a good rhythm. I'll say goodnight now, but I'm going to try a couple more times to get this rhythm down. I'm John Rapp. This is Just Rest Your Eyes. Good night, and see you tomorrow.